peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Viewers, President Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has 37 months left for his term of office to end. We conducted an opinion poll on key tenets of what can be done within the 37 months. We looked at the economy, corruption, judiciary, security, unity of purpose, politics of 22, the referendum, the handshake, reconciliation, the Big Four agenda, dialogue with Somalia, democracy in Kenya, constitutionalism in Kenya, media status in Kenya, what the citizens want, preferred, talked about, international relations of this country, Kenya, and finally we looked at the leadership style of His Excellency the President, what people thought about it, the cabinet, the opinions that came out about the cabinet of the current cabinet of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the opinion about the church in Kenya, what the church is in Kenya, and the opinion about 20 items listed, the debt, the rising debt of the Republic of Kenya, the debt that people have, the debt that the government and the people of Kenya have to pay as a result of the money that they borrowed for infrastructure, reconstruction, manufacturing, the food and the infrastructure. We looked at all these items and we came to a conclusion that in 37 months, there's quite a lot that must change. But there are key factors that stand out within the 37 months of the leadership and the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta. To leave a legacy, the president needs to look at items and narrow down some of the items that can be achievable and those that can be improved and those that can be left for the next government to work on and continue working to stabilize this country called Kenya. The most outstanding items that most people talked about with the highest percentage were judiciary, economy, corruption, unity of purpose, referendum, the handshake, and democracy, plus the church and the debt that was alarming most of the Kenyans. But behind these alarms and behind this scenario, one factor stands out for President Uhuru Kenyatta. He has set the ball rolling in the direction that, yes, a handshake that he took a position to take. It's very rare in Africa for a winner to think of the loser, and the loser to think of the winner, and then the winner also to incorporate in some of the activities, not fully in government, but in terms of handshake. President Uhuru Kenyatta stands out within the 37 months left to cement the question that Kenyans want to look at the judiciary, to look at the referendum, at the constitution. Are there some things in the constitution that need to change? If you look at the fight between the governors and the MCAs, between the governors and the central government, devolution has worked very efficiently. Most people did not want even to say much because they needed the services. But the amount of the corruption in the developed units has worried most Kenyans. So can we, in the next, as Kenyans, can Kenyans look at this and find out and take note what they can help the President of Republic of Kenya to improve on, to achieve within the 37 months. I know it is a hard, a long, tall order. It's a tall order that can bring about difficulties, but it has to be achieved. A legacy must be left, especially on the question of unity of purpose, especially on the question of fighting corruption. At least leave a legacy by fighting corruption, unity, creating a united Kenya, bringing about good social standing of the people of Kenya, and above all, cleaning the judiciary such that it can help Kenyans in resolving the contentious issues. You have done very well on international relations, and international relations need to be encouraged more. But the question of Somalia brings a lot of hiccups. The best way to resolve it lies in your credentials as the President of the Republic of Kenya. The legacy goes on, is in and on track. Thank you, viewers.
We call for a non-violent revolution. We call for a non-violent protest. We call for a non-violent march. This is what we are demonstrating to the world, and we have resisted Mr. Biya's army of occupation in our land, but this is a moment that we must continue to stand firm.
Along with many other Cameroonians, many of you, as far back as the early 90s, and more frequently lately, I have insisted upon the imperative nature of genuine dialogue. Unfortunately, the government's solution has been cosmetic reforms and repression. Teachers, lawyers who raised legitimate concerns were either arrested or forced into exile. Doctors, important people in our society who asked for genuine dialogue, were met with punitive transfers and humiliation. It is regrettable that the government hasn't learned from the past.
We are ambassadors. We don't need anything again. The only solution to the matter is let the government solve this problem by giving our independent freedom.
We have a territory of our own. We recognize international boundaries. We have a language. we have a culture, we have our own laws, we have everything that is required by international standards to be a people and a nation and a state. The UN must give us this right.
We as a people, we have the right to self-determination, and we are determined to go our separate ways.
The people of the Southern Cameroons have suffered under the brutal regime of the annexationists, La République du Cameroun. We have suffered for 56 years, and we finally decided that enough is enough.
I think dialogue is the main solution, because military, the use of military has never been a solution to a problem concerning this kind of issues. So the government of Cameroon has to dialogue with the Anglophone regions to come to a compromise and let this problem be solved.
Now, we want to inform the whole world that the Southern Cameroonian prisoners of conscience in the jails of Yaoundé are on the second day of their declared hunger strike. Now, we want the entire world to know, because we are convinced that the regime in Yaoundé will be indifferent until they begin to die. While we encourage our brothers in this process, we also call on Southern Cameroonians to join them in a fasting, so that the whole world may know that we are a determined people.
Self-determination cannot be effective without self-defense. We are opposed to violence. We are opposed to war. But if La République, if the UN should continue to dilly-dallying as they are doing, and La République comes now to attack our people, they are forced, they are bound by the law of nature to defend themselves.
Fellow Africans, since 1957, when Ghana gained independence, there has been quite a lot of political, social, economic indicators on the African continent that show that Africa has progressed from pre-independence Africa to post-independence Africa.
Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that, after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
66 years down the road, Africa finds itself with the first country, Ghana, having gained independence. We find ourselves still locked up, controlled, manipulated, instructed, logistically supplied, equipped by foreign powers that dictate our agenda. Africa is endowed with plenty of minerals, resources, good weather. The climate is so favorable for the growth of food, enough to sustain us. But we find ourselves in countries where hunger is killing people. Hunger is killing people because most of the people have taken to arms to fight wars, conflicts. Starvation has taken the place of development. In most African countries like Sudan, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Nigeria, in Biafra, and north of Nigeria there is Boko Haram. Somalia in the Horn of East Africa, we have taken to conflict instead of development. Development was the key indicator. When Kwame Nkrumah made the first speech that seek ye African political unity, economic development will come automatically, he was right. The events happening in Libya today vindicates Nkrumah, vindicates Nyerere, Sekou Toure, and Nasser, the founding fathers of our Pan-Africanism. The events happening in Central African Republic, in Congo today, as the war of rebels ranges on between the rebel and the rebels and the government and the government and the rebels, vindicates the founding fathers of this revolution. Our independence, therefore, was only on paper. Our independence, therefore, was only in symbols. Our independence also was in signs. Our independence also was in boundaries. That we received our flags, but we never received full independence as by the word independence. Most of the 3/4 of African countries, French-speaking countries, have their budgets being done in Paris. Is that independence? The Paris government or the French government does its budgets based on how much they will get from African countries. Is that independence? Is this the Africa that you want? Is it the Africa that we must look at? Is it the Africa that we shall leave for the future generation? If the answer to you is yes, then so be it. But if the answer is no, you agree with me that this is not the Africa we want to live for the future generation. Our generations and the future generation need to find a legacy. What is the legacy that Africa and African Union will leave for the future generation? The wars ranging in Libya, in South Sudan, in Khartoum, in Mogadishu, in DRC Congo, in Amazonia, in Cameroon, Boko Haram, Mali, in Mauritania, the uprisings in Algeria, all point to one thing, that yes, we are not yet independent. We are still controlled by external forces. Thank you.
Way back in 1998, the late Secretary General of the United Nations, by name Kofi Annan, thought of an idea, brought an idea of saying the only way to bring world order, where crimes committed that are not punishable in local courts, local countries, regional courts, could be taken to an international crimes court. The Rome Statute and Rome Treaty of 1998 July was an offspring of already cooked DSGE intelligence system mechanism to keep Africa under check. Up to date, the French government pays 70% of the salaries of the International Criminal Court, from the porter to the judge, to the prosecutor, and the rest of the other people. This was a project of Kofi Annan and the Kofi Annan Foundation, followed by George Soros as an accomplice of Kofi Annan, brought in by Luis Moreno Campo and the entire system of the West, some countries in the West, to keep check on African countries that did not agree with the policies of the French and to their policies of Western culture. The International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Luis Moreno Campo agreed in all this that yes, he has been picking money, extra monies, and we followed the story together with my group in France, powerful investigators in France who worked together with me, and we found out that, truly speaking, Luis Moreno Campo, Fernandez Gomedi, the former judge, the president of the International Criminal Court, laundered money, some coming from American banks themselves. This evidence was put in the ICC. In the case of Bashir versus the chief prosecutor, I filed an application which I still have and which I'm going to publicize again so that people can know that I was right. I've been vindicated because the American friends now have found that my credibility is real, that I was right when I stood up to say this court is corrupt. This court launders money, $17 million of United States money, laundered through Bahamas, through New York banks, back to Ocampo's personal assistant, by then called Fernandez Gomedi Silvia, who later on rose to the ranks of becoming the president of International Criminal Court. It has taken us time, energy, efforts, resources to investigate the corruption scandal that have rocked the International Criminal Court. Why should African countries continue to be in the ICC, yet even the superpowers like America are saying no, we have enough courts to try our own people? Viewers, it has taken Americans over 20 years to listen to our voices when we told Reinberger in Nairobi that this court is a corrupt court.
Today, on the eve of September the 11th, I want to deliver a clear and unambiguous message on behalf of the President of the United States. The United States will use any means necessary to protect our citizens and those of our allies from unjust prosecution by this illegitimate court. We will not cooperate with the ICC. We will provide no assistance to the ICC, and we certainly will not join the ICC. We will let the ICC die on its own. After all, for all intents and purposes, the ICC is already dead to us.
A case of the Kenyan people. These cases in Kenya, the chief prosecutor called Fatou Bensouda put serious statements at the end of the cases, discharge and termination. In legal language, these cases pose a very serious threat in the future. What the people of Kenya can do, and they should do, is today to wrap up the Waki envelope. Because until this envelope is sealed, thrown in Indian Ocean, the chief prosecutor in the future will come and look for that envelope, use it to incriminate people again. It brings me back to the situation. America is sealing its journey out of the ICC. Why do you wait? Why don't you take this opportunity to seal your journeys out of the ICC? America is quitting, warning that it cannot no longer be a party to such an obnoxious court, a court that has no powers, that talks from this side and vomits from the other side, a court that cuts and pastes evidence, a court that buys witnesses, a court that incites incentives, gives incentives to witnesses of a passport and a relocation, then you tell lies about people. The court that sentences you as per the words there. Why should you leave a country that has a jury that checks on what the judges would do, the excesses of judges, and go to a country, a court that has no jury? Time has come for Africa to think. Do we need this court? Does Africa need this court?
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is. It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are
Yes.
deviant and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa. The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
I want to call upon the people of Abazonia today, wherever you are in the diaspora in Abazonia itself, that in a struggle you are bound to have divisions. But divisions should not divert you from the main focus, the main challenge We have struggled to expose the happenings, the human rights abuses in Amazonia. The army has killed hundreds and hundreds of thousands, burnt houses of people, internet was cut off, schools were closed, dispensaries, hospitals were burnt down. Amazonians should not be intimidated by Paul Robia. It is not upon the leaders of Amazonia, because I am not from Amazonia, but I've played a pivotal role in making sure that I loud out the voices, I put out the call, I call upon AU, EU, United Nations, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International. Many of them have listened to some of the things that I say here, and they have come at last. America, United States of America, is slowly moving towards giving the Amazonian people the dignity they deserve. I therefore call upon the leaders and the leadership of the Amazonian people to unite for a purpose. The unity of purpose is paramount, as opposed to disunity, which has nothing but only produces ego that we have seen in South Sudan. What has killed South Sudan is not because they don't have the money, the minerals, the resources, is ego between Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. We would not like to see that ego come to the people of Amazonia, the leadership of Amazonia. I call upon Samuel Sako, Akanga, Milan, and Eko to unite and talk with one voice on international scene that will bring about the peace, the tranquility that you yearn for since 1961, when the resolution 1608 was abandoned by the United Nations General Assembly and Amazonia was annexed by the Cameroon government by then. I call upon you, my brothers, to pick up the unity call and free your people without disintegration. Thank you. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa TV, broadcasting all the way from Nairobi. It is 34 minutes past. I hope you have enjoyed those clips. We are here again in our opinion, my opinion. This show is part of the Good Morning Show, restructuring this movement way forward. My opinion, so that nobody can attach us to whatever we talk. It's our opinion and centered around us. That is what the way we see the microscope of things in Kenya, how things are working in Kenya, how things are being duplicated, duplicity, intrigue, politics of factionalism, politics of intrigue, politics of sabotage, politics of undermining people at night, calling them good people during daytime, at night meetings being held to destroy characters of people. This is the type of politics that has blinded most of African countries to chaos, and that type of politics because of corruption. We talked about the dams, we talked about the water in Ero and Kimero. There is no water and it will not come. The final conclusion is going to come anytime, and the truth will vindicate us. We shall be free. With me in the studio right now is none other than Miriam. Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. Let's struggle on. For us who are volunteers, we are not looking for money. We do volunteer, especially myself. I volunteer to defend Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Not only here, not in Kenya, anywhere I will be. As long as I'm alive, I will stand by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I will stand by the people, by the truth. Because in 2010, we saw the nightmare that the Waki envelope and the likes of the Waki and the likes of those who wanted Uhuru Kenyatta to be fixed and Ruto to be fixed. No Kenyan stood up to say it. I stood up to say it. If you want to kill me because I did it, kill me. But I'll tell you the truth. As long as I'm here, I will always support the president and make watch that Kenya is the only hope for Africa we have. After all, tell me, Nigeria, we are done. Corruption is killed it. Where else? South Africa, the capture of the state by the president, corruption is killed it. Kenya is the only hope that we have where we can say there is something going on in Kenya. That's why they are headquarters of UN and the headquarters of so many things in this country. So you don't say it is yours, it is ours. There is regional peace conferences being held here because Kenya works. Kenya matters. Kenya matters. Kenya matters to this region. The Great Lakes region stands stable because of Kenya. And therefore we cannot keep quiet, Miriam, and watch people kill a legacy. The man is telling you, let's unite this country, move together, get a great Kenya. You are saying, no, I want power, 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 power. I want to conquer Florence, conquer Rome, conquer everything. So what do you want him to do? Yes. You have sent out lieutenants to insult the president. Some people want to insult Uhuru Kenyatta, but they don't want Matanga also to insult them. It doesn't mean this internet is not only in Kenya. I can insult anybody from anywhere in the world because I've made my brand. The brand is there. The moment I pick the microphone and open the air waves, people will listen. So when you are insulting Uhuru Kenyatta, know that we are going to insult you also. And from today, know it. We shall insult you even worse because we also know what you do. So you, please, clean your thugs. Tell them to get together and form a country. Push the agenda of the president. Because if you go on and telling him like a baby, a small child, he's not a small child. You gave him a sword. Some people undermine people. Every program where you go, they say, oh, he's talking about Ruto. Let him not be on TV. So what? Is he the only man that in the world that people should fear? No. If he talks about, he allows these guys to talk about the president and insult Uhuru every day, we are going to insult him also. Then to warn him. It's not very good. Let him tame these boys of his. This is the behavior that made people just, they all think of, you are Ugandan, Uganda. Go. This idea of uprooting people from their homes, leave it. Leave it. You think of uprooting people. You know, everybody who goes on social media is thinking of uprooting you. He's not even reading your statement. And if you look at them who are telling you, you go home, go home. They are from one place. They are used to uprooting people. Wache chiweleke sasa. Let people know. Stop uprooting people. People live in a global market, Yemen. They want to spoil this country, walai. You see, we shall bring back Miguna. Who has refused Miguna to come? Miguna himself has refused to fill the forms. You think Miguna is the first person to have a dual citizenship? When that? Do you know how many people have dual citizenship? You don't know. People don't go around showing dual nationality. Everybody has. Uganda allows dual nationality. Ugandans were the first in East Africa to get dual nationality. You can have your passports as much as you want because you are not vying for presidency. Miguna is not the only one who has a dual nationality. We go and sing him. Very many people have even better passports. Better. Where you enter with a visa. A house to eat food there, you have a visa. You need it. And it's very costly. Time has come for people to tell people the truth. Who wants to go to Canada? What's wrong with people, man? Oh, Miguna, we shall bring him back. The guy wants to come back, let him come back. Is this country humble? Follow the forms, fill. If they refuse you the passport, then, but you want to fight a system. Some of us have fought systems elsewhere. Some of us used to be like that. I used to fight Museveni every day. Every day. Even in London, I used to fight Museveni. Very badly. Better than Miguna. I'm older than Miguna. Older than Miguna is old in height, but not in age. I've been a fighter since 1978 when he was a student in a university here. I had already finished. Wash, mnaambia watu. Bring him, don't insult the president, he didn't do anything. You go and fill the forms. After all, you are sending David Muge there to see him every day. You think we don't know? We shall be telling you now. To give him money to insult President Uhuru Kenyatta. We know. We now want to tell you now, slowly. Let the truth sink that you know. Those telephone conversations you make. Hata watu watawaambia. Enough is enough. This country, the younger men are looking for jobs. You are not giving them the jobs. You have stolen all the money, looted all the money, assumed it, and you say you have enough. Then leave those who don't have to look for. Some of us who suffer on red accounts. Accounts are red, overdrawn, red 200 times. Suffering for the same guys. People who were saved then came to loot. You know? Then you tell people, we are all right, I'm all right on the money. Yes, we know. You have the money. Unaambia watu tuko na pesa. Uko nayo, tunajua. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. If you are borrowing lunch from someone and then you have a helicopter now, doesn't that mean you have the money? You have it. Iko mingi. So the legacy of the President Uhuru Kenyatta must be respected. Respect the President. You attack him, we shall attack you. And from today, we shall attack you openly. Sindio, we attack, you know, people were fearing to attack Ocampo. I am the one going to attack. Then I see what you will do. Because I can cause a lot of trouble, walai. It's too much. Stop. Tell those guys who want to attack the president, he's a friend. He doesn't give me food, but he's my friend. I feel bad when you attack him like that, belittle him. When he's not answering back, we shall attack you from today. We shall attack you also. And I will see how you sleep. Tutawata. The legacy is not going to keep quiet. Leo mjue hiyo. Fire, inch by inch, soil by soil. Because if you want that, we have more records on you. Tisha watu. It's not very good. You attack the president from morning up to evening. When you don't have even a certificate to be in parliament. You failed. You stole people's certificates. Your exams were written by somebody. And you call us, I've got this. What? We know. Tutawaambia haki ya Mungu. Msitishe watu. You think Ugandans don't have green blood? The Ugandan has red blood like you. Why do you discriminate me? How many professionals are working in Uganda? How many? Let's close this border and you see who will suffer. Not Ugandans will lie. Let's close it. Si ndio mnataka namna hivyo? Ugandans are not bad people. How many professionals are working in Kampala? How many? Ask David Ocheng, the MP for Ugenya. He has an office in Uganda since 1994. How many professionals are there? Who has chased him away? These younger boys from one place coming with bad manners of uprooting people. Wanataka ku-uproot everybody. Uprooting people everywhere. You have a syndrome of uprooting people. Wacha tuambie watu. Don't uproot people. People have been uprooted enough. If Uhuru Kenyatta, you insulted the president from morning up to evening, surely. Belittling him every time. You have a mechanism to pick a phone and call the president. Why do you insult him? Why do you go to rallies and then create groups, give groups money to insult him? What has he done wrong? What is in the economy here is in economy in Uganda. It is in economy in South Africa. It is in economy in Britain. 100 shilling pounds in Britain that used to buy gas and electricity can buy only 2 things out of a supermarket. It's an economy. The difference is that Britain is developed and this country is not developed. That's the truth. But there, even 100 shillings, 100 pounds is zero. You enter a restaurant with 3 people you are eating. It's finished. The economy is bad everywhere. Uhuru Kenyatta is saying unity. He wants unity of purpose. Let's help him. Maybe Kenya will be better tomorrow when most of us are gone. We shall go. Nobody is going to be here. I'm 64, I'm going. I can't speak like a man of 45 when I used to harass him 7 in 80. No, I'm leaving a generation. That's why I've lived Mr. Bob Wine to do the job. He's my second born son. Why should I struggle with him again to do what? For power? No. Let him try. I tried. I struggled. The person talking to you is not a coward. But when you find a nation is bigger, you shake hands. And Uganda is stable today. Ask him 7, isn't he here? Does he come for me? No. Because I shook hands with him and we finished. Raila has shaken hands with Museveni, with President Uhuru Kenyatta. The country is stable. Let's stabilize this country. If there is nobody going to talk to these younger Kenyans and tell them the truth, then you are in a slow, we shall be, we shall regret. It's better for me to say the truth now. Let it come. You can't hire people to insult your boss every time. Hire them. Give them money to go. Correct the rally. There's another one from Kikuyu called another one who was I was paying 5,000 shillings a year on this microphone to talk for me. He's now in parliament wearing a coat insulting Uhuru Kenyatta. Tutawambia, rudisha my 5 shillings because 5,000 per day which I was giving you. You are now surviving because you have found free money. Mnaiba kila kitu. Wizi. People are suffering. There are people with children who don't have even money. They don't. This is why Africa goes wrong. Africa is going wrong because of this type of people. You can't do that. You can't go on standing there. I agree with you, Clark. Exchange ideas, but not insult. To tell the president, you are this, you are that, we do this, we are that, if you don't do this, we do this. It's not very good. As an East African, I cannot, and an elder, with my age, I was born. The days that people say I was born, I was already born. So will you kill me because I was born earlier? Yeah. I have wisdom, man. I might not have the money you have, but I have wisdom. So I will tell the people that when you come to my platform of social media, write what I can. If you write wrongly, I will install you and switch you off, but I would have first tormented you with a package of also the same package, then switch you off. You'll never talk to me again. You miss me, bye-bye. What will you do? Invent another Facebook. Soon Facebook is going to be costed. We shall see how many of you will lazy on it. Slowly, they are putting a price on it. Because of the misuse we Africans do. But Zungu are not misusing it. But we Africans, because we have seen a new thing, we misuse it to break people's homes. We misuse it to forge papers, letters. We misuse it to do some things, pack them together, the sound of my sound, put it with the sound of the enemy. We misuse it. All these gadgets are being misused. It's sad. Prostituting the name of the president that you elected is not very good. Besmirching it every minute. Uhuru. What? If you are not satisfied with him, switch to another party. Form a party and challenge him. Because you are not happy with the ideas. It's new. Why do you stick there? Why do you stick there? If you hate him, go. But let him serve his term. 5 years. He has 36 months and some days. I count. I'm one of those counting every day. Every day we tick down. The days are going down. He might not have a legacy. These are the problems that have killed Nigeria. Biafra is gone. Nigeria is gone. Boko Haram is killing them in the north. And then Buhari has turned to kill others in the south. His own people. That stupid Buhari. And the African Union is watching them. The chairperson of African Union is tall 6 feet here. Is running around Kenya eating food. When Nigeria is dying. Amazonia is dying. Cameroon is bloodshed. Central African Republic, bloodshed. Libya, bloodshed. Look at Libya. Today, what I've been saying was caught right. Miriam, you are going to tell them the news. It was right. I was telling people that the French arm Khalifa, people were calling me a liar. Now call me a liar.
I have it actually.
The French arms have been caught. They are the ones killing the government in Tripoli. You praise the French, my foot. I've been telling you on this television station. They have killed Cameroon. They have killed Nigeria. They have killed Central African Republic. They have killed Mauritania. They have killed Mali. They have killed Libya. They are killing Sudan. They are killing Ethiopia now. Very soon Ethiopia will be in chaos. Zimbabwe is on the precipice of disaster. They are plotting $4 million transferred from New York account to Paris to South Africa in a bank. They want to topple Mnangagwa. They want to topple Mnangagwa. Emerson, watch out. These are the same people. Then they tell Mnangagwa that don't worry, we shall give you a loan. That Minister of Finance, remove that guy there. That French mole. Let him go. Zimbabwe's Minister of Finance, you are a mole. And I have got all the details of what you are doing. Go back to Paris. That director of what? That director of what? What will you do? What will you do? Jonathan Moyo is here. is there writing papers. As I speak right now, they are meeting in a hotel in Durban to plot how best they should overturn the government of Zimbabwe. On the sideline of that meeting, Boniface Mwangi is in the meeting. Right now, pictures have come for me. You think I don't know what goes on? I know everything. I'm the African who will tell it that is it. I'm the Pinto. I'm the tomboy, man. I'm the Patrice Lumumba. I've never gone to any mental hospital. My mother produced me very well. And my father looked after me until he died, where I've not buried him. But I'm not going to keep quiet. Sorry. Some of these guys, because they have got positions, then wanatembea wanaringa hapa na masuti, insulting the president, insulting Uhuru Kenyatta from morning to evening, because you think Uhuru Kenyatta has no friends. Mujaribu kuanza leo. Even we shall work 24 hours. Mjue hiyo. 24 hours. Tutakuwa kwa hii mtandao. Tuone where we shall reach. You can buy television stations as you buy from looted money. Gosh. You have annoyed people. These are the people I went to help. This guy, he can't say thank you. He's worth nothing. You know, I woke up, God gave me a vision. Say it, so that your chest does not kill you. Mtu gani huyu? Just annoyed with people. Hates people. And I hate. If this is the type, then where are we going to be in this country? Will the people ever come to this country? That is the warning for you Kenyans. Vote the leader that will be able to steer you away from the chaos. There's a lot of damage. Africa, you see, as you help Africa with one hand, they push, you have to push others who are on you. I have been saying Africa is in chaos. Cameroon is dying. Cameroon is bleeding. Libya is bleeding. And the people say they are Matanga talks. Now tell me, those guns captured, displayed on international television, and the same CNN who did not want, they have run there with their pictures, you saw. Made in France. Shame on you. Do you see that in Kenya, you people in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Do you see what Kenya, what France is creating for Unimum in Somalia? September is your Waterloo. September is your Waterloo. If you didn't know. Those who call Matanga stupid all the time, you are gonna battle with this Jamen. You know, the good thing is that I can't allow my friend to go through this. So I have already prepared my application. The best application. The best. With people don't know. I don't need your money. I will go and file it. I'm going to file it without anybody asking me to do it. Because when you ask, they come around and no way. I will file it and the Kenyans will give me hallelujah. Alone. And it can finish this problem. They will come back on table. September is a bad day. Don't you see what the French have done? We have Ugandan troops in Somalia. If you started at border disputes, you are killing my people. I have a right to defend the people. I don't need to be a Kenyan to defend you on a territory. Don't eat. I am going to file it on bed and breakfast. I will spend only one day in The Hague, and I will not tell you when I'm going. But I'll file, you'll be ashamed. I'm going to do it, like I did this one here. I'm going to do it to save Kenya. Some people, hey, what type of people are these? It's a sad thing. Thank you very much, Miriam. Test the microphones.
All right. It's afternoon here, a minute past noon here in Nairobi. Thank you so much. I see your comments are coming in. Keep writing to us, and as you write to us, please let us know where you're watching us this afternoon or morning, evening, wherever you're watching us across the world. And Dr. Matsanga, speaking about corruption, today is Africa Anti-Corruption Day. It is being commemorated today. And also, still on that note of corruption, the DPP and DCI are already in Italy. They're probing the dam scandal. Yes.
I've written about it. The water of Ero and the Kimro is bursting.
Is there water anyway?
No, literally speaking.
Yes.
I wrote on my Facebook and I said, the water of Ero and the Kimro is bursting. It's finito. Waiting for... Talk about the corruption. Someone told us 7 billion. Another one at 21 billion, 7 billion. Lost. And then they say, what? Okay, if there is bank guarantee, why can't this guarantee give us the money quickly please bring the bank guarantee to give us the money. You can't eat the money and then you say there's a bank guarantee. So money is eaten. It's gone. It's gone. And that is the problem. That's why all these stories of assassination or the word, they don't want to hear the truth. People bought towels, cement, forks, cutlery, bed sheets, mattress. The dam has mattress. Fish stays in the dam. So I don't know what mattresses were for. They use the money. The Auditor General yesterday in his report, what did he say? We have to help to fight corruption. You can say anything about me, insult me, but remember I did something no human being can do. And I'm still here. Just say thank you, then I'll keep quiet. But as long as you go on undermining me, never. No peace.
All right. So according to the Standard, a team of top Kenyan security officials is in Italy seeking to recover money paid by Treasury for told 65 billion Kenya shillings Arol and Kimorel dams in Elgeyo Marakwet County. 65 billion Kenya shillings. Every time I read such figures, I just feel something in my spirit.
Do you know what?
It's not sitting right.
You can even run mad. Have you seen the amount of murder, assassination, and so on? And no. Suicide. A man kills his family, kills everybody. People are frustrated. You read such a headline of 65 million. People need a national day of healing. 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 Hallelujah. Where the bishops here, where the clergymen call a national day of healing. Otherwise, we are going in a different direction, Jamen. You can say Matanga is this, but me, I'm telling you the truth. Where we have reached a conflict, that you see that one here, 65 to seek the money.
65 billion.
Back. Because the Muzungu has said they took it. The Muzungu, Makio, these people are stupid.
Do you think the Italian government will cooperate with the Kenyan?
Yes. Do you know what the Muzungu has done? Muzungu does not want to end up in jail from Kenya. He has statement ya Muzungu inamaliza hawa watu. So when you are telling them that what is coming is a tsunami, they don't want it to come. They invent another story, forged letter, or this one, or this one. The younger man, I hope he has learned something. 5 days, you have learned. If I were him, you should thank friends. Don't only thank those you see in court, you Tumbi. You thank some of us who have a heart for you.
You have a heart for Itumbi?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a heart because I have a son like him. That Itumbi hear this today. And thank that man who made a call to me.
So today being the...
yes, let's finish this. I have a heart. I have a son like Itumbi. Itumbi is son number 4 in my family.
He's very young.
Very young. So I feel pity for him to be used. Me, I've been used. I don't mind. But for him to be used and left in jail, I don't like it.
And that's what a lot of people have
If it was him, let him just go home quietly and go and apologize. You are not standing out for anything. The people you are standing up for are just lying to you. Mass hysteria killed Jesus. Had the people in Capernaum, the port of Capernaum, stood out the soldiers of King of Pilate, Pontius Pilate, would have not taken Jesus. But were they there? No. By the time Jesus was arrested, he was only with one traitor called Judas. The people he fed at the port of Capernaum gave them food when they were hungry, which is the current Haifa. They were hungry. They just remain crying when you are dead. So, Dennis, keep off. If I were him, I would just say, just as those days of reporting, just call the police and say the truth. Forgive me. Then let me go to national TV, make a statement. I'm sorry. The world will forgive you. After all, he's a younger guy. We don't want younger men to start going to prison. We want them to be productive.
But also seeing that he works for he's the digital communications person in the,
for his bosses,
for the office of the deputy president. But his role as a blogger, I think, has overshadowed.
Has overshadowed. You're a civil servant.
Is that conflict of interest?
Very, very seriously. You're a civil servant being paid government money, and you have become a blogger.
Because now when you see in the papers, he's referred to as a blogger.
A blogger.
That is not what he
does
in the
government. You are a
civil
servant. You know the boy needs, and the father is a very senior person who should sit down with this man. Me, my son cannot come with a Range Rover, which I did not know where he bought it, and you drive in my compound. David Masanga, utarudisha. Utatoa hiyo, urudisha huko. That's it. I'm telling you, Miriam, you don't. Unaiba bitu ya watu ukuje naye hapo, unatembea, oh daddy come and we eat. No way. I'd rather die with my poverty. There are friends who will help me. I have lived on this earth because of friends, not because of my own help. I've helped myself until friends see me, say he has value, he has a point here, help him to do this. That's the type of friendship we are looking for. You have brought a very serious point. What is a government civil servant? The government has never employed a blogger. The government employed a digital communication director, not a blogger. So you can't get government salary at the same time you are blogging.
It's against the
ethics of civil service.
Yes, it is absolutely against the ethics of civil service. A civil servant, you can't even give a comment on television, even if you're an eyewitness.
No.
Of anything, you're not supposed to.
No. And in fact, please, Mrs. Kobia, don't sack him. He might be very poor. Although he tells people he has a lot of money.
Well, he has a lovely home. They showed it when they went to pick him up.
Yes. No, he has bought next to that one. He's bought the next apartment. It's money. Free money given by the same hungry politicians. A lovely home without a wife. What lovely home.
So today marks the African corruption.
Your home is better because the cowboy has come back from holiday.
My home.
And the museum is around. Yes. Isn't it?
Let's leave my home alone.
No, we are talking about a lovely home, Miriam.
I said the structure. It looks very nice for Itumbi's.
I didn't see.
I saw it.
I was more...
When EACC went to pick some documents from his home.
I was so annoyed about the younger man being picked. A younger man whom I took on a flight one morning to Amsterdam for the first time in his history. He had never traveled out of this country. For him to have a problem of that nature. We were going to fight. What is annoying me is we are fighting what we are coming to. The work envelope.
Oh, this is all.
Yes, this is work part of it. You know, I have these black files, very many. This is file number 10.
File number 10.
Of this nature.
Okay.
This is what I've been fighting for. To rescue Kenyans. That's the point, the topic we are coming to after your make your comments.
Before I make my comments, of course, today I said it's the African Corruption Day. We are commemorating African Corruption Day. I don't know where Africa stands when it comes to corruption. Is it even? Do we even need to have this day to commemorate anything in terms of corruption in Africa? Because we seem to have embraced corruption in its, entirety. It seems that corruption is what is driving a lot of African even economies, or even killing the African economies, just to say the least.
That corruption is not just killing African economy. It brings conflict.
It does.
The conflict in Libya is corruption. The conflict in South Sudan is corruption. The conflict in Central African Republic started because of corruption. After the death of Emperor Bokassa, the governments that came in, Bozize and others, you saw how many people fell. People started saying, I need these diamonds. You take these diamonds, you don't bring back the money. Another army general looks at you, say you didn't bring the money. He overthrows you. That's the conflict in the Central African Republic. Diamonds. Corruption started from the diamonds. The conflict in Congo that we see today, people arming themselves in Congo, is corruption.
Corruption, yes.
Kabila has more money than the state, but yet he wants to borrow money from a European country, which has saved its money for years, Belgium. Why do you borrow money when you have more money than the country? You know, Kabila's account alone can run elections in the entire Congo. His account, President Kabila, the former president of DRC, has more money. So when you talk about corruption in Africa, look at the old corrupt tendencies that are in Africa.
It is the source of all evil.
It is the source of conflict. It is where conflicts spring from. Conflicts come from those areas. Conflicts come from those areas. I'm telling you.
So as Africa commemorates the African corruption...
Is there anything to commemorate?
I'm saying, what lessons can we possibly learn moving forward?
Maybe you said the lessons. There's nothing to commemorate about.
Yes. We don't learn
here in Kenya,
from our past.
Here in Kenya, all parastatals are kaput. They are eaten.
Very sad.
Everything. KPLC. Look at this headline.
I saw it.
Look at this headline. Anger over Kenya power token scam.
They're back to token scam now.
Yes. They have gone and manufactured. If you think that a letter cannot be manufactured here, look at the coins. If you think your voice cannot be put in a voice of a person who is not here, and then your wife comes to query you that I heard you were somewhere, then look at the anger row of Kenya power tokens. Someone has even made the tokens of his own. I am in a conflict with another housing association where I used to give banks, and someone went to open 2 bank accounts. I've done my own investigations and discovered the checks that I used to pay used to go to another account. In this country, 2 accounts, the same check and the same account, but different, just changed one, and they used to cash these checks.
Even myself, I think I'm having a problem now with Nairobi Water. You pay for your bill via M-Pesa. It does not it does not reflect in their official account. So you're wondering, I've been paying the last 3-4 months. Why is my bill not coming down? Apparently, they have proxy accounts, and that is very sad, and it's affecting Kenyans. So I thought we had dealt with this Kenya Power scam a while ago when it first came out, and it seems as though they keep getting clever every day. Now it's another scandal involving Kenya Power. I hope they sort this thing out and quickly, because Kenyans are suffering.
And I think, Mr. Kimboy, I'll take time to answer you. I don't want you to spoil my morning. It is true that the first trip that we made to go under struggle to remove the Ocampo 6 in 2011, the first trip ever made, it is me who bought the tickets. We went together, and I showed Itumbi how a plane looks like. So if you have doubts, go and ask him. But don't waste your time opening your mouth on my platform. I'm not going to be very happy, and I don't want to pour more on you. This morning, I'm in another mood. So thank you very much. Listen to that. I have facts about ICC. You don't have. So I went there with him, and I will not tell you did he not go with Matanga. I can show you the photographs in the plane and everywhere in the hotel where I booked him. So don't bring your problems of your mangering here. Don't manga on my line. Manga somewhere else. Go to K24. Thank you. Today I have no good words. Sorry, Miriam.
Okay.
Let's proceed.
All right, so do I just go through?
Tokens.
Yes.
You have a problem with the power,
Nairobi
electricity
water.
itself.
Nairobi water.
Nairobi water. Me,
I paid and did not reflect in the account. 3 months.
I discovered, yeah, I was looking through my bank statements. I discovered I had paid some checks that were banked in a different account, which has never been disclosed to the
management of the of the establishment.
People were going to cash these checks, real checks, yes.
Yeah.
Because when you give checks with your signature, they go and cash these checks.
Does that mean they collude with the bank manager?
Yes, the one on the till. If you are the tiller,
cashier.
Yeah, cashier. If a check is 600,000, bring me 50.
Oh wow!
And they take 550. This is the type of corruption. I found several accounts, several checks that were issued. So I have requested for all the checks because they are there. We need a full checks. Who checked? Who removed that money?
Who cashed the checks?
Who cashed the checks? On the same account. And it says this, but it doesn't reflect
yes.
in the main account of the
official account of the establishment.
Yes. These things are being done by accountants. They are in the accounts department. They are doing this. I'm telling you, you go to Kenya Pipeline, you find a check is being cashed of millions, and the bank agrees to, because this guy is the chief accountant, he always comes there, says, nipatie mkubwa na nituma. They have cashed money and the checks of this nature. You look at that, and this is happening. They have written all these parastatos. Walai, there is no money in the parastato. Out of 90% of the people arrested by DCI, all these people arrested on corruption, they have named one person that I did this on instructions of A, B, A.
Now we've gone back to man above.
Eh?
The man above.
Yes. To the extent that the director of DCI came to a meeting of corruption, and the corruption meeting said, everybody says a man above.
So who is this man above?
You know, all the suspects that were taken to Muthaiga have mentioned some names that are constant. So, is it...
From that WhatsApp group?
Yeah, No, don't. Let's not narrow it there. Let's leave it wide.
Well, it's public knowledge. no bias, but it's public knowledge.
They have. The truth is going to come out. I'm telling you. Okay. The truth is going to come out. And this one I've been telling, you see, when you know, this, when you tell them, they don't listen to you. Let's just discuss Africa. Even this thing, leave it. Let's leave it. Let's postpone. We need a full day and a full aspect
to talk about that.
To talk about it. Let's talk about African.
It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot of evidence.
It is fantastic evidence. Material, well, which ended up with judges in Nairobi. But I think let's discuss. We have 40 minutes in it.
Yeah, we do.
Look, judges in Nairobi saying that the Attorney General had no obligation to give us information. I just want to take the opportunity.
That was the ruling?
Yes, this is the ruling, Miriam. I'll give you to go and read and return tomorrow. It's very interesting how our judges and the judges work in this country. They work upside down. The legs are upstairs and the head is down. They know this is a very crucial. I filed this motion. You saw on the newspapers. I filed this motion because I knew Kenya at one time will come to where we are again. Have you seen the signs? Have you seen the stars? We are back here. We are back here on Waki. We are back with groups saying, let him try. Create PG. Create dissolve cabinet. Do this. We are back here. And as a man who went to school, better school, not these schools of where people write exams for people and then they come and get degrees. No!
But about, you've mentioned something there, dissolving the cabinet as it is right now. In fact, it's Taifa Leo, the Swahili version of the Nation newspaper. I think that was part of, I can't remember very well, but I was watching it on a morning actually, and they were going through the newspapers in Kenya. The cabinet is not working for the president. Should he just continue keeping people there who are not there to make sure that his agenda is implemented?
Look, that I am one of the few people who started.
And it's divided in 4 times now. It's
yes,
4 divisions.
That is the president will do that.
Yes,
he's not he's watching. The good thing with my good friend, he watches and he's watching. The problem that we have is your constitution. And that's why there is need to change this constitution to reflect the wills of the people of Kenya. Because 20%, the person who opposed the constitution is at the center of breaking the same constitution. You know him. The 20% left. There were people who said no, and some people said yes. At that time, the yes took the day. The no, headed by Ruto, there's no need of hiding anymore. Headed by Ruto, opposed the constitution. Because it had a lot of, at that time, I was also very, as an outsider, I was persuaded on several aspects of the constitution. One of the aspects of the constitution for Kenyans to know, which I'm totally opposed to, that even if one day, if God gave me life to live, I will not see a country enact, is the constitution on having the governors as warlords, political warlords of their own natives. Governor Owiti, Governor Rasanga, Governor Waititu. Waititu is for Kikuyu. Rasanga is for Luo from Siaya. Owiti is for the Homa Bay. That is bad politics. You have balkanized the state. You have destroyed the morale of national unity. When you have governors coming from the clans, that's where the problem. Otherwise, devolution is very good. It's a very good aspect. But that issue
So for governance, we should be having people
ex officio.
Not necessarily from that region.
Yeah, ex officio.
Not elected.
Not elected. Okay. Ex officio. A man who will check on these guys and say, no, these people are not working. You pass the budget to have the road, a bridge. This bridge is not there. The bridge is not there. And the rights to the central government that when you are giving money, check whether that bridge was done. We need an ex officio on the council, on MCAs, county members of county assembly.
Someone who has no interest.
No interest. Get a Turkana to be an ex officio on the MCAs in Mombasa. They will deliver very well. You can go call him the governor of Mombasa. He can have the same title. But he should not have political interest of votes voted within by the people of that Mombasa. No. He can have votes of Masabit. He can be from Moyale. He's there in Mombasa to make sure that development is done.
And Dr. Matsanga, that's a very wonderful idea. But as we know, our politics is very much into ethnicity. Are we there yet? Have we matured yet enough to even allow that to happen? And it is a wonderful idea. Yes.
Are we even mature? We are not.
Politically.
Miriam, we are not.
We still have a long way
but
to go.
we have, the constitution must be done. There must, if you ask me a question, do you want a referendum, yes or not? Yes. But when is the question?
And on what issues?
On what issues? So let Kenyans sit down, wait for BBI, let BBI arrive, and they do the necessary.
A few months, a deadline, 31st of October, yes.
Let the BBI come, you look at the points that the BBI has missed out, and raise them, because there will be a chance to debate it. And rectify and clean the whole service.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so do I just go through the African stories quickly, and then maybe we can talk about a few here. And also some very good news, Uganda and Rwanda, there seems to be progress in terms of opening of the border.
Yes, after some of us have starved for 3 months, our trucks were held in Rwanda for many months. There's progress. Thank you very much. That the people have lost money, drivers, spare parts, tire wearing, all these goods rotting there. They will make progress. They are the same people. Museveni and Kagame are the same people. What makes them fear each other is superiority and inferiority complex.
Yeah.
And the ego.
And ego and fear of unknown.
Yes.
Especially.
Ego. Yes. President Museveni has very powerful ego.
That he does.
And Kagame
also
is very bad at ego. He has ego. He's a friend of mine. When he looks at me, he stops. Everywhere, when he meets me, he stops. When he's walking in AU, he stops to say, how are you, Matang? But he has ego. He's like Riaka Macha, has ego. He's like a Salva Kiir, ego. I don't hesitate to tell them. Both Ugandan and the Rwandese presidents, they have ego. One is a teacher of the other. Museveni taught Kagame, so Museveni feels that he can control Kagame, but the son has grown. Leave him. But the son also equally respected the teacher. But because without the teacher, you would not have been there. At least the teacher has helped you to give tools of analysis. Don't punish us, the common people. Uganda and the Rwandese are common good people. We don't want this animosity. If France wants to fight its war, begin the war in the Mediterranean Sea and fight back to that Paris. Don't bring it here. Again, France, I told you, Uganda and the Kenya and the Rwanda want to fight because the French are too much around Kampala. Look at what the French have done in Bujumbura. One president of Africa has a toilet in his office, a kitchen in his office, a playground.
And talking about this president who can't even leave. Can't
Yes,
even look the other side.
he can't look this way. He can't even go to the toilet because he lives. He even has to put a rope on the chair when he's going to the toilet so that no general sits on it.
And not General Sisa. Do you think perhaps it's maybe because it's only East African community that has really embraced Burundi? Maybe is it possible that if the leadership of East African community put pressure on President Pierre Nkurunziza, perhaps he could change some of these things?
External forces. We have external forces. There's external forces. There's France. It doesn't want to give a chance for any negotiated settlement. Ma'am, it's very easy to negotiate the Burundi issue.
Because the elections.
But some country called France has told Mr. Nkurunziza, no, we want you to use you to overthrow Kagame. Leo wacha nitoboe hii kitu. That's it. Iko kitu gani? What do we fear for? I don't need to study French in France. They don't give me visa to go there. I don't need it. If I want to go there, I will go without visa. They will stamp my passport. I'm also a citizen of Europe. So what will you do? You. Have I violated a law? I'm not a terrorist. I'm just telling you.
Will Brexit change that, though?
No, it can't change. Still
visa free.
Yes, visa free. People will go. You stamp it at the door. Otherwise, here we can also introduce. You apply there. You apply from your house before you come here. We Africans we are damned. Here we are useless. Do you know that? These people don't have sunshine. We have sunshine and very good. They don't have animals. We have animals, wild and then good ones. They only have ones for milk. For us, we have one for everything. Medicine, what? Wild beast. They all come to fly to see our animals. Charge them highly. A country like France, single it out. For every French man coming to see animals.
Single it out.
Yes.
They will be assembling Puyo here in Kenya.
No, listen. Yes. For everyone from there, a visa costs 1,000 shillings. $1,000.
They can afford that.
Yeah, pay. The economy. You know, Africa doesn't know how to make economy. 500 shillings for a visa.
Because we pay highly for their visa.
Excuse me, 500 shillings for a visa. So you don't have these rough guys coming here. You have only class who come to spend their money and you get more money. Yenye mnawacha visa $50. Africa. $50 enter. No! Put it high! If I was a minister of finance for Uganda, for you to go and see those gorillas in Rwenzori, you pay me highly. Because God also knows why he gave us gorillas and gave you nothing. Yeah, don't you? Let's go back to the Bible. Why did he give us sunshine and gave you darkness?
Winter, yes.
Winter. So charge these guys so that they respect us. Their visa should be high.
Maybe because we don't value what we have so much.
We don't. We all hammered it home. We don't. Mama, we don't value. We Africans don't value ourselves. The biggest problem with a black man is telling the black man the truth. He will prepare your assassination. Malcolm X said so. And on the 5th of July, 1965, he went down a few days ago from a black man who organized the assassination of Malcolm X. Because the black people hate the truth. We were given these mountains, this river, this volcano by God. We are given the wild beast by God. We were given Serengeti National Park by God. So people like the French tax them highly. The rest British helped us to preserve them. French just come to destroy them. Tell them for every French national visa is $500, euros. They will repay our embassy. We shall have paint, new sets, new sofa set in the inside. Some of the embassies of African countries is like a kitchen, a karaoke kitchen. The embassies are so dirty that you can't sit there with your suit of $300. Tax them. God gave us Congo forest. Why did God grow Congo forest in Congo and not grow forest in London? And you plant on the trees. Because God gave them something else. And we have also been given this. God gave us Sahara Desert. Why is there no Sahara Desert there in London or in France? Then why do you come and beat us in our Sahara Desert? Then mutilate us, even bring your guns, station them there, and kill us. At least I went to school, I'm not like a Malema. Malema cannot tell you which school he went to. He's a very bad racist, telling everybody to finish South Africans. They were born there. They have gone there, they have grown there. Share things with them. Don't say all of them go. Don't be Idi Amin. Be rational, very, very rational, but tax your goods. Tax your goods. You want to come and see Mombasa, I will tax you, baby. You get my point?
Yes.
I will tax you. You want to go and see, Cameroon, the tropics, how birds they are singing, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. There are no birds singing in Paris. Akuna! You know part of the reasons why this French annexed those tropics of Cameroon, Gabon, the birds. But while they were monitoring the trees and the birds, they also brought equipment to monitor down in the ground. Oil. It is oil that has brought Libya to where it is. It is oil that made Sarkozy to kill Gaddafi. We Africans forget so easily. A friend of mine sent me this medium today. He sent me this about Africans. And he said, each time, and I said it applies to you, Matanga. He said, each time I want to fight for African rights, I use only one hand because the other hand is busy trying to keep away Africans who are fighting me.
Wow.
You have heard that? Each day, you try to fight for Africans. With one hand.
The other one,
you have to keep those who are fighting you.
You have to keep them off.
Yes.
Yes.
So that, in short, you are saying that's why there is no African what? Unity. You are fighting for them with this. The others, you have to keep them, don't kill me. Have you seen the president told us here, help me to fight corruption. President Uhuru Kenyatta himself came to national television, told the Kenyans, help me. When we started helping him, some people started fighting us. You notice that when something is going to happen, they hear, and then they bring another scandal. Now this week, we have gone slowly, the letter, that there is something being cooked.
What can be more damning than the letter?
I don't know. It's being cooked. The experts.
Whatever it is, people have to be very careful.
We have experts. We have those who stay around. There are those, they have created a lot of employment. There are people who monitor Matanga. What is he saying? That's good employment for them. Yes, I'm telling you. God, what did he say today? Whom did he talk to? Oh, it's what? Where did he go today? They have created employment. They pay them. They exchange security, the numbers. Tell me, where are you today? Hey, but don't tell me. Don't tell my name. I'm told you. This is very good. They are here. They are everywhere. Mama, they are busy. They narrate a story. They even want to, the only thing they cannot discover is how the food is manufactured in the stomach. But if they knew the time you got the toilet, they could also report the same, that he has just left for the toilet. He has just left. They are here. They're everywhere. They have employed people, I'm telling you. You go to the phones, you can just say, hey. Someone who tells you, hey, is this the life I was leading? That's the life we are leading in this country. I wish everybody started investigating the other on corruption and reporting to a central bureau. There would be no corruption. But instead, Miriam, we are given assignments to look for what Miriam, which route does she use, where is she going. It's like a jealous husband who even taps the phone of the wife. Me, David, I would die of that heart attack. If you tap your wife's phone or your husband's phone, and then finally you hear the wife is saying to the other man that, darling, I'm ready, come. Don't you faint? So the best thing is to leave it.
Yes.
Umeona mama? To leave it. Give freedom. That's why there's liberalism in marriage. There is a certain quota where you say enough is enough. I'm speaking as an elder here now of Umofia clan, giving advice. Umeona? Kama unafuatilia Bwana sana, Bwana atafanya vitendo ambayo vitaleta mashutuko kwa roho. Roho itaenda, utakufa, utaweka chiso, uanze kuua watu. Some of these marriages, some of these murders are happening because of that. The MCA who killed people and killed his children, he was roving everywhere here with changing cars, 6-10 cars. You know? When you have 10 girlfriends, 20 calling you the whole night, will your wife like it?
It's disrespectful. Both men and women.
Yes. Then you have a girl. Me, David, a girl, I take you out. Then you are full time on telephone. By the time you come on the second one, I pay the bill and gone through the other back door. And I leave you, or I leave you with the bill. So don't attempt to go out with me and then you try those stupid things of telephone. Some girls are on the telephone 64 hours, 24/7. You have taken her for a meal. I think you better create Social Africa today. I'm in the mood to rarua watu leo. You have taken her out for a meal. She is on a phone throughout. Then go.
But you should not be having your phone on the table while you're eating. It's
they do.
It's bad manners, even if it's just...
They don't come ladies these days. They don't come that we land ourselves in.
They do that.
They are all the time. Even the waiter comes to take the order. She is taking the order while, what he will have. Ninda kuwacha. Hapo kwa restaurant. Hata load arrow wapi na kuacha hapo. Naingilia nyuma, mlango ya nyuma naenda. road error, they will take your address if you have no bill to pay. Nasimama nje namwambia mumwambia alipe pesa. Alikuwa na pesa zangu.
But I think just even putting your phone on the table in a meeting or with somebody, whether date or not, I think it's just rude period, and unless it's really, really necessary, but mostly...
If you tap your girlfriend's
okay.
or your husband or your wife's phone, you might find things that can make you get... You see the people getting a gun to shoot. A man gets a gun, shoots the children. Why don't you leave the children to survive? Kill yourself. Alone. Kufa peke yako. Wachawa. They will remember you. He killed all.
It's very sad.
It shows the rule of guns in this country.
Have they returned all the guns?
No.
The police asked that.
MCA has a powerful gun.
MCA has a gun.
Yeah, that man who killed was an MCA.
Yes, he was.
How do you... Why have the society in Kenya gone too raw? Another woman kills herself, the husband,
and the children.
And the children.
Very sad.
So men, when you sleep, don't oversleep. Women, when you sleep, when you have children in the house, don't oversleep.
What do you mean? I should not go to bed and just enjoy.
You must check yourself.
But still,
check your pattern and the mood.
When you find that you're in such a relationship and you're in such a situation, I think sometimes we overstay, both men and women. If it's not working, it's not working. I mean.
Thank you very much, Miriam. We have come to 47 minutes past the hour.
Yes.
We have agreed we shall do this on another day.
Later, yes.
Because it needs to explain the point that we had wanted before you finish up with your African news is to show that tomorrow, should anything come again, don't come to me. So I've realized the statement that I was going to give you so that you are my witness, you keep a copy, was not printed out.
Okay.
So I want to get my printer, that Stephen prints it out, so you have a copy. Chronological events of what I did to summarize this file.
That file.
Then you say,
file number 10.
Yes, number 10.
Okay.
Sudan is file number 11.
Oh, Sudan is file number
11. It has black, all of them.
Good.
There's more in Sudan. There's more, there's everywhere. So many things are happening.
Yes.
So these are some of the things.
All right, and our viewers out there, Tenny Poch Gorth, I think you're watching us from Australia, I'm not sure, but yeah, thank you so much. Bismarck Bura, you have been really commenting this morning, and Ufa Noxin, thank you, and I think you've talked a lot about Biafra up there. Thank you so much, John. Noaliaku, also thank you so much for writing to us. Emeka Ehirim, thank you so much. And who is this? Daniel Destiny, saying the true voice of Africa. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few minutes to 1 p.m. here in Kenya. It's about 10 minutes or 11 minutes past noon, or 11 minutes, 11 minutes to 1 here in Kenya, Nairobi, East Africa. Wherever you're watching us, thank you so much for tuning. So do I just go through quickly the news-making headlines in Africa this afternoon,
please.
And then we can perhaps look at one or two. East African Community Secretariat, they don't even have the pay. Remember, it's just 3 weeks ago here, I was reading that the money was misappropriated. Now, even the people who work there, they cannot be paid their salaries. All right, but I'll get that to that. Let me just go through quickly, and we start with Libya, where France's defense ministry acknowledged on Wednesday that US-made missiles captured from the self-styled Libyan National Army belong to the French military. A statement said that the missiles were originally intended to protect French anti-terrorism forces in Libya and so did not violate an arms embargo. It said they were damaged and no longer operational and were put into storage for destruction. And we go to Nigeria, where President Muhammadu Buhari could name his cabinet nominees as soon as this week. The Senate President said on Wednesday a move that could end more than a month without ministers. Buhari was re-elected 4 months ago, but Nigeria has been without a cabinet since the minister serving during his first term stepped down in May. And in Ivory Coast, Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara has said West African nations who meet the criteria to join the single currency should do so by 2020. Ouattara said this after meeting French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris on Tuesday. And in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, Eswatini has banned a competition of witchcraft and magic spells. The news agency reports, quoting a government statement. Anyone who will persist with any activity related to witchcraft will face the full might of the law. Government spokesperson Percy Simalame is quoted as saying people in the country formerly known as Swaziland could not be exposed to illegal and weird practices. The competition, the witchcraft competition that was supposed to see witch doctors pit their skills against each other, was planned for the weekend. Look at the competitions we're holding here in Africa. And United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says the current fight against terror in West Africa's Sahel region is insufficient. He was speaking at a UN summit on counter-terrorism, where he urged donors to do more to support military and developmental efforts to stop violent extremism. And we move to Algeria, where the Algerian parliament has elected an Islamist opposition politician, Slimane Chenine, to be its new speaker. The governing FLN party, which holds a strong parliamentary majority, has said it had put the national interest above its own by supporting Mr. Chenine's candidacy. And the East African Community Secretariat has now drawn funds from the gratuity fund to pay staff salaries for June, says a well-placed source in Arusha. Underlining the poor state of funding of the bloc, there has been concern about low budget support by partner states, which has been blamed for the stalling of several programs. And in Ghana, Ghana's parliament has dropped a planned project aimed at building a new chamber after public outrage over the matter throughout last week. A statement confirming the move read in part, the board parliamentary service has, upon reviewing representations made to it by well-meaning Ghanaians, taken the development of the new chamber block out of its present agenda. Now, the new chamber or the new parliament was going to cost Ghanaians $200 million. And Rwandan President Paul Kagame and Uganda's Foreign Minister Sam Kutesa met privately last week on Wednesday as both countries sought to end political tensions that have crippled the flow of people and goods across the common border. The two-hour meeting happened shortly after Mr. Kutesa landed in Kigali. A well-placed sources confirmed the minister delivered a sealed envelope from President Yoweri Museveni to President Kagame, but the contents remained a mystery. A source said the minister was given a response to deliver to the Ugandan leader. And in Malawi, protesters in Malawi have threatened to march naked if people don't stop criticizing a top female official. The group, who call themselves the Forum for Concerned Women in Malawi, say that boss of the country's electoral commission, Jane Ansah, has been criticized because she is a woman. A pro-government group marched through the southern city of Blantyre wearing t-shirts saying, "I stand with Dr. Jane Ansah." They promised that next time they will protest again, only without clothes, if complaints about her continue. And in Somalia, the country has executed 3 members of the Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab, who were accused of attacking a hotel in capital Mogadishu. Reports media has indicated the execution was carried out by the army's firing squad. And we end with Zimbabwe, where Foreign Minister Sibusiso Moyo has said that everybody has the right to express dissatisfaction against the government, but they should do so not to instigate violence. He was referring to leading opposition member Job Sikala being charged with subverting a constitutional government by alluding to overthrow President Emerson Mnangagwa before the next election. So that is the latest from across Africa. All right, a lot of things happening this morning. And yes, France Defense Ministry came and acknowledged, because, there has been an embargo over Libya. No country is supposed to sell them any arms. So France got these arms on behalf of Libya and gave them to General Haftar.
Did you read my...
I will read it after this.
No, did you read my AFCOM? You saw my AFCOM analysis. Part of it is very interesting. And somebody else picked it elsewhere and wrote bigger things.
Okay.
AFCOM is the same, you know, Egypt is not, these Egyptians should not have been given that football. These arms pass through Egypt. Surprisingly, United Arab Emirates have put the label on top of the arms, but they were bought from France.
And US sold to France.
Yes.
Which is meant to
France sold to UAE. UAE delivered it to.
So French bought from the US.
Yes.
On behalf of.
Of-
I'm thinking. on
Yes,
behalf
of UAE.
Yes.
On condition you don't supply anybody in Libya.
Because there's an arms embargo there. So if a permanent member of the UN Council is the one violating human rights.
Yes, you tell me.
It's exhausting. Even
You tell me where we are heading. Miriam, all the events in Africa make you gurume, you can have an heart attack.
And did you hear the kind of competitions we're now holding
In
Africa?
Malawi,
Yeah,
in Botswana,
Eswatini, yes.
in
They now want to be called Eswatini.
In Swaziland.
Former Swaziland, yes. Witchcraft, competition on witchcraft. So which doctors are going to pit their skills against I don't know if they're going to kill each other and I don't know, because witchcraft really nothing, when you think about witchcraft, how are they going to pit their skills against each other? How was it going to happen even?
That is Africa. That's Africa for you.
Oh, yes, it's interesting. But also, I'm very glad about the Uganda-Rwanda border row, and what President Museveni did, wrote a very sealed letter, passed it through one Foreign Minister, Sam Kutesa, to President Kagame. President Kagame also replied and sealed the letter hand. Not through email, not through nothing, and was given to President Yoweri Museveni. So the content of the letter is not out there, but I think this is very good diplomacy, and I think it was about time.
You
and
don't,
that.
when Museveni is fighting Kagame, and Kagame pretends to be fighting Museveni, don't come in the middle. Just stay away.
Leave them alone.
I've known this young
sort it
gentleman,
out, yes,
especially Kagame, for a long time. Me, I don't put my words there.
Yeah, I see you're very standoffish when it comes
Yes.
to Kagame, yes. All right, so we hope...
Because you can become the
enemy, the target.
Yes.
And he does not play.
Yes, you can become the target. The two, when they are quarreling, you leave them like that. They will not quarrel beyond that.
Is that why even the good friend, because President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya is very good friends with the President of Uganda and President of...
He pulled out.
But he
listened.
Out of it, yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
And
He listened.
Tanzanians, nobody has been...
You leave them.
Okay.
Because I said the truth. Don't come in the middle. Those two know each other.
They'll sort themselves out. So they've started the process, so we hope that they can find a lasting solutions, because at the end of the day, it is the people who suffer, the business people who rely on that border to do their business, the ones who suffer. So we want to thank our viewers so much for tuning in today. Hopefully we'll see you, DBC Our Buys, we'll see you in our next broadcast. But for now, thank you so much, and it is bye-bye from us.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.